the end of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers passed his shield to Sam Wilson, and that choice bugged me. I am one of those people who firmly believes that Bucky should have become Captain America. He has been a lifelong friend of Steve Rogers, was terrorized and manipulated into becoming a terrorist, and he was able to earn his way back, making him more than worthy of donning the shield. Sam Wilson, on the other hand, was just a friend of Steve Rogers, who he met after waking up from being frozen in the ice for 70 years, and fought by his side for a few years and then became Captain America. But nonetheless, Sam Wilson's a good character who is more than worthy of a solo movie. Of course I would rather this be a Falcon movie, but I'd have been happy to have been proven wrong about this movie. Since Sam has become Captain America, he hasn't had the smoothest run. Marvel gave him his own TV show, which I never bothered to watch, and now a movie, which since being announced has had a plagued production, consisting of rewrites, delays, and reshoots, all red flags that almost always lead to a bad final product. The first teaser came out and it looked nothing remarkable, but then the official trailer came out, and that actually looked decent. So I began to get excited and cautiously optimistic about the film. But Captain America Brave New World turned out to be exactly what I feared it would be. Nothing brave and nothing new. Let me explain. Hi all, I'm the Grinning Critic and I love talking about movies with a grin. I wish I could do that for this film, but I can't because Captain America Brave New World is a massive disappointment. But as I am the Grinning Critic, I'll talk about what in this film is actually good. Easily my favourite part of this movie is the chemistry between Anthony Mackie and Danny Ramirez, who plays Joaquin Torres, the Falcon villain. Every time these characters interacted with one another was so much fun. Had this film just been a buddy cop movie with these two characters interacting and trying to solve something, I think this movie would have been a lot more fun. And what I really appreciated about this film was how this film is the first MCU film in a really long time to feel like a part of the cinematic universe. A lot of MCU projects recently have felt like side quests, so it's good to know that this franchise is coming together and leading up to something. But let's dive into what isn't good about the movie. And let me tell you, there's a lot to discuss here. I think the very foundation of this film's story is flawed. The filmmakers know that The Winter Soldier is a fan favourite in the franchise, and so they decided to make Sam Wilson's film a political thriller. But recently, Marvel has faced backlash for their emphasis on leftist ideologies, and they are afraid to make content that appeases the right, to avoid any hate from the left. So what they decide to do is make a political film without any political meaning. Who is this President Thaddeus Ross? What are his beliefs beyond his views in the Avengers, obtaining resources and his own self-benefit? What does he want for America as a people? These are questions that we need to have answered for a movie resolving around political conflict. As well as making an apolitical political thriller, the movie's plotting as a whole is awful. To talk about this movie's plot, I feel the urge to go in-depth and discuss spoilers. So if you want to see the movie, stop watching this review. So this movie feels like two movies in one. There is a personal Sam Wilson Captain America movie here with Sam Wilson working with a new Falcon and trying to get his friend Isaiah Bradley out of prison after firing shots at the president. Let's talk about that. I find it really hard to believe that a criminal had been allowed into the White House armed, and second of all, can we get a better explanation as to why this guy shot at the president? He just said he was confused. I mean, come on, that's just slack writing. What also sucks about this is that this character was given so little screen time during the second and third acts, it felt like the screenwriters forgot about this character entirely, until they remembered that Sam had to save him at the very end of the movie. Meanwhile, Falcon and Captain America try to resolve a mystery, and then this mystery becomes an Incredible Hulk sequel. I think that Marvel wanted to make a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, but they know that a lot of people don't really like that movie, so they didn't want to take a risk making the movie. They just felt a need to tie these loose ends, and they had no clue how to give Anthony Mackie his own Captain America movie, so they worked this into a Captain America movie. And Hulk doesn't appear in this movie. They made a Hulk film without Hulk. Sound familiar? Anyway, in this Hulk movie that's been worked into a Captain America movie, we learn that the president is dying, and that he abused someone who got affected by gamma radiation to help him live, which I thought was a really interesting ethical discussion as to the extremities that one will go to keep themselves living, and how obtaining possession over someone can make someone into their very own worst villain, and the damage that this can inflict upon society, especially when illness is hidden or mismanaged. This is a really good idea that I think is worth exploring. I just wish that this was put in a better movie. And let me just say this, that Red Hulk fight was so much fun. Why did they have to spoil one of the best scenes in the movie's marketing? It's weird that that is the second third act fight sequence. That's right, it's the second one. The first one's this fight between the Americans and the Japanese over obtaining adamantium from the giant celestial in the Indian Ocean. And that was built up to be the big third act fight sequence, so it feels odd that it wasn't. Then again, this movie was 2 movies in one, so I guess the filmmakers felt like they needed to resolve both storylines, so we get 2 third act fight sequences. How wonderful! Now, on a technical level, this is a highly flawed movie. The CGI is shoddy at times, with some very noticeable green screen. The fight sequences are often very poorly edited, being sped up ridiculously and looking very choppy. Captain America Brave New World is a severe disappointment. What could have been Anthony Mackie's Winter Soldier turned into a movie that suffers from major identity crisis. On the one hand, it's a lame political thriller that is so afraid to engage with politics on any level, and on the other hand, it's a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, filled with a few interesting ideas. You merge the two together, you get a reworked to the ground tonal jumble of a film that is anything but what its title suggests. I'm gonna give Captain America Brave New World a C-. Thanks for watching, and I'm the Grinning Critic, and don't forget to subscribe to me. It'll make me grin again, that's for sure.